Well, my friends, here we go again. Today, complete other than expected. You know the thumbnail, what is going on today. But I wanted to tell you, I wanted to make a video comparison because one has asked me, greetings out there, from the Wilson Evo NXT against the Wilson Evolution. And that video is really a serious one when I make this. And today it was raining, it's all wet now. Now it is better, it gets warm and the floor is still wet, and so I could not make this video. Then I decided I take my Hand-1 ball, a real leather ball, and to play it when it is wet, because in wet we have not played it that often. You know, it makes no sense, but I do it because I have the ball now and I have to play, and here we are. But the video today, complete other. Was it back then better than nowadays? You know, that is the thing, because you have heard all of my videos, then you will think, boy, he only likes back then and nowadays nothing, and that is not true, you know. I will discuss also from today and especially about music, you know. Music will be a big part, but we start with basketball, yeah, with basketball. I made a video what was back then and nowadays, you know, the little bit ironic things, if you have seen this. But the thing is, what I can take as an advantage, you know, first of all, we are at Strange Court. You know, now the mountains you will not see that much, but the nice beach, you know, we have a lot of space here to sit, to stand, so we have enough to walk on this video. It will not get boring, even if I'm alone here. As always, street ball number one. Why? Because I'm the only one, you know. And if you know my last video, then you know we have worked out, and later on I make an extra video about the ball, but only the playing, because we have said as much as is needed, you know. And yeah, I played on and on and on. Last time we got more scratches in. Yeah, it makes no sense to play this ball outdoor, yeah, once again. But I want to know how it will go, you know, so I will do it. So what is today better or not better, you know, but what is other nowadays? For example, and big advantage to me is that we have internet, you know, that we can watch basketball content whenever you want. It is almost too much nowadays. You can watch 24 hours in a day and night if you want, you know. On YouTube, you can go to the NBA app, you can watch their highlights, you can pay for it, you can watch all what you want. Back then that was impossible, yeah, impossible. You know, in the late 90s, there came out Premiere, it was called, you know, Premiere, what is now Sky. I had it one time and that was great for the big boxing matches. There I have seen Roy Jones Jr. Live, the first time live, when he got knocked out in the first fight against Antonio Tarver. Yeah, the second fight, sorry, that was the second fight when he got knocked out. I think all neighbors, I jumped on my chair, and you have to know the fight in the US, and when I'm here in Europe we have it in the middle of the night. It was around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I jumped on, no. I think everyone heard it in the house, you know. Also then Mike Tyson, when he lost against Danny Williams, but there I have bet on Danny Williams. He got wobbled and then Williams knocked him out. And I have seen Danny Williams live boxing, you know, when I was watching in the Switzerland. So, but today, yeah, and back then the Premiere, and there you could pay at the late 90s, early 2000s, I think it was, and there it was much money, but you can watch then sports. But it was great. You had no opportunity other than to watch such things, you know. We had only the NBA Inside, it was called, with Frank Buschmann, what I have told you once, I think Inside NBA, yeah. That was our only thing, and the magazine Basket, yeah, Basket. I have a lot of magazines still. I will show you that one time. Then we can watch if we find the molten ball, what I told you, the molten ball, what I never liked in these papers. When I have seen that construction, I thought, wow, what is that for ball? Why don't they use Spalding? Spalding. NBA is Spalding and Spalding is NBA. That was our time. And there was the Basketball USA magazine. These were the two magazines which you could buy here at my area, and I got from my granddad every week 1 magazine or 2 magazines. I could travel to the newspaper store at the train station, and there I could choose 1 magazine. And so I had always sport magazines, yeah, and that was fantastic. And nowadays you can watch the whole day. Yeah, they make almost too much. The NBA games you can watch highlights, you can watch training sessions, their whole life on Instagram, on TikTok, little clips, yeah. Nowadays it changes that they only produce clips for the clickbait, you know, that they earn money for nothing else. That changes also, but you get so much content. That is one thing, but it is an advantage. And why? Because when I was growing up in my village, there was no basketballer. There was only me. The other guys, they were skateboarders who played also a bit, sometimes entered in someone who did basketball. But when you have no one who is better than you, where should you learn it? You know, I was never in a club, and then you have it really hard because I had no DVDs. I had never an N1 DVD back then, you know. And you cannot learn it. If you had players who make big styles, I was in Innsbruck here, and there were really good players back then, the N1 style players, you know, early 2000s. But if you have no one beside of you, then you cannot learn it. And nowadays, even if you, I don't know, live complete outside somewhere in the village in the mountains, and you are 200 kilometers, there is no basketball around, but you have internet, you can learn it. Watch, for example, Taro Streetball and other guys, you can learn it. Snake, for example, really, really great. And that is superb, you know, because you can level up so quick, you know. I will tell you, you can level up in 3 weeks so much than another guy in 1 year when you have nothing to learn, yeah. And that is fantastic nowadays. And also now I have to put it down. Today jumps not high, you know, a low ball temperatures, the wet thing, you feel that today. And for example, the NBA, now a little bit the sun comes out. The NBA, for example, people from back then will always tell you most of the time, wow, nowadays it sucks, nowadays, wow, the players are not that good like in the 90s, you know. We had Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, David Robinson, Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Patrick Ewing, Dikembe Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, and on and on and on, Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, you know. And now, you know what I mean? They say back then it was better. But for example, I am a person who is not saying that. I think, why do you have to do that wow, these were better? Then you can also discuss them. You can bring in, yeah, what about a Wilt Chamberlain? What about a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? What about a Julius Erving? You know, Dr. J. What about all those guys, yeah? Larry Bird, and on and on and on. Bill Russell, you know. I think, to me, the discussion is completely stupid. Who was better? Was it Kobe Bryant? Was it Wilt Chamberlain? Was it Michael Jordan? Was it LeBron James? You know, I think, wow, why can we not celebrate this, that we have those guys now here still? I think LeBron James, wow, what a great player, outstanding. And not always, he's not better than Jordan. No, Jordan was not better than him. And this, why not to enjoy it until they are here and playing? And I think it's outstanding. And I have seen the hype when LeBron entered in. That was amazing. You know, you cannot imagine that nowadays. I know that from my magazines, what I told you now. And really back then when LeBron entered the NBA, that was a global thing, yeah, not only for basketball, that you heard it in the basketball area, boy, the big thing and this. No, that was a time when there was no TikTok, no Instagram, no YouTube, there was nothing when I think back, you know. Yeah, that was, when was it? I don't know now, 2002, 3, 4, 1, I think 20, I don't know now, I have to lie, but at that time there was no social media thing big going on, you know. And when he entered in, But I swear you, that was in the newspapers. In newspapers, people talked about that which have never heard of basketball, you know. LeBron James. They called him maybe the greatest player of all time, enters now into the game. Maybe one of the greatest sport athletes we have ever seen, you know. That was the time when he entered in. That was unbelievable. And he's still there. And I think, wow, what a fantastic player, yeah. That is so loving to watch. And also Kobe Bryant, yeah, that was amazing. Had the posters on, you know. And I think we had in all eras, there were so great players. Why not to enjoy them, you know? So I like all of the decades, you know. And also nowadays, you know, when you see them, Jimmy Butler, what I told you, wow, I like him so much. They're so amazing guys, you know. Kevin Durant, you know. And Kyrie Irving, the ball handling, wow, that is amazing, you know. The sport grows, you know. They get more athletic. Man, the rules are changing a little bit, but why not to enjoy it? You know, now it is another time. You always have to think what would happen if a Jordan would live nowadays, yeah? If they would have the knowledge about training, all that stuff what people have nowadays. So I could never compare it. Do you think they would even get better nowadays? Or would you say, boy, then you see maybe they are not in that level, not Jordan, I talk about all players now, you know, you can never know, you never know. And how good would those guys from nowadays be back then, you know? And you have to imagine, when it's the same what I told you, when you can watch videos all day long, you see content 24 hours, you can develop so much more than back then when you had the opportunity not, you know, to watch all day, all players, all styles, you know. We see that in a lot of sports. Think back, do you think a Pete Sampras at his best would beat Djokovic? You know, I'm a great Pete Sampras lover, one of my heroes. But I will tell you, I don't believe that he will win against Djokovic in his best. I don't believe it, because the sport grows, you know. Also, Mike Tyson said this once, when he was asked would he beat the Klitschkos. He said he don't know, sport develops, you know. You don't know. Also, Lennox Lewis, for example, picked when he was asked, Klitschko, Vladimir, Vladimir was against Tyson, he said Vladimir, you know. You never know, you never know. Why not to enjoy until they are here? And now we go to music, you know, because I love to speak about music. And there we come to nowadays. Nowadays, I still think we have a lot of talent here. I told you that back then the live music was better than nowadays, is my opinion. Yeah, but we sit on now that a nice place here. Wait. We go there because here it is nice with the background that remembers me on the beach, you know, like Miami Beach. So here we are. You know, nowadays there's so much auto-tune music, yeah. If you don't know that, it is when you don't hit the notes, you can change it, that computer-based voice all the time. And the other thing is, people are used to this. When you now shown up with real voice, real instruments to young people, yeah, who only watch TikTok, Instagram, that sounds boring, yeah. But that computer-based music you have to do sometimes if you want to have success, that also changed. But when it comes to live, give a lot of people nowadays a stage and they only have to play live instruments with live voice without anything else. And I tell you, back then the class was much better. Why? Because they only sang live. You know, there was almost no playback, yeah, or very seldom, yeah. Michael Jackson, for example, there was playback a lot of times, but this is another story what I know, yeah. But Jackson is really a master, you know. But nowadays, I tell you, we have a lot of talent here. For example, I have mentioned this in my last video, Camila Cabello is one example for a young female artist which has really talent, you know. That is really amazing. Alone when you listen to her when she talks, alone the voice, why you think, well, the girl when she can sing, you know. I told this, when you put away the name now, Cabello, some person, doesn't matter which person, when you hear such a voice by talking, then, wow, please let this person can sing. when they have a little bit talent, what can they produce, you know? And you see that with Cabello, wow, really, really talented. And for example, you have a few names here today. When you are a music lover, maybe you don't know some names, but wow, that is amazing. One name what I can tell you, that is Madame, you know, Madame, from Italy, my lovely country of Italy. Madame is one of the most growing artists in Italy and also international, I would say. But what a talent, it is really a talent. But the thing is, if you are not used up to this style of music, then you will say, bah, not good, not good, not good. And that is the point what I also will tell you. Because back then, the people which are now in my age or a little bit older, when they are listening to nowadays young music, you will may think, bah, that's stupid, auto-tune, bah, shit that, you know. Like I said it a little bit in that way. And there you have always to be careful, because when you get older, and then you are not the teenager anymore and not the young grown up, you get in the middle age, and then you hear that young stuff and you say, boy, that's not good, our days were better. But the same have said the people when we were young, yeah. And you have really you can watch nowadays, there is talent and there is also not that much talent, but of course there exists talent, and of course there are really great ones out there, but it is a complete different style, and there you have to adjust to it. You cannot say, well, because they have used autotune, this is shit. No, you have also there really great ones, and one example is Madame. You can check her out. I will put up links once again in the description, and then you can watch this. And Madame, boy, you know, when you see a lot of musicians and you see her, but it is really outstanding. Also live, yeah. I will not say they are the best singers in the world, like back then, Celine Dion and such, Whitney Houston. This is complete other thing. But wow, Madame. And she can adjust her style, how she does it, and really amazing. For example, she has played there, when was it? Last year, I think? Yeah, last year at Milano Duomo. You know, they have always concerts. That is the city of Milan, you know, in Italy. My lovely city, and beside the Milano Duomo. By the way, I have slept one time in the night beside Milano Duomo in the street, but it was so cold I thought I'd die. Then the police has shown up, and on and on and on. I have seen a lot of things, believe me. That was great. And there she showed up, yeah, at the stage with a song really great. Watch this. And one what is mind-blowing to me, she was performing last year at the Arena of Verona. You know, Verona has a big, great arena, yeah. So like a Colosseum arena. And she sang there with Gianluca Ginobili. You know, he's from Il Volo. And when you see that duet, that is mind-blowing. She comes out barefoot with a white dress, completely other. You will never expect that from her. And they sang a duet. I mean, he is one of the best singers in the whole wide world. You know, Gianluca is absolutely amazing. You know, you can watch the whole concert. He has performed there as Elvis. Mind-blowing, I tell you that. So Madame is one of the really good ones out there from nowadays, what I say. Yeah. Then, for example, we go to the US, to Chicago. Mellow Buckzz. You know, Mellow Buckzz. If you like rap from nowadays, Mellow Buckzz, a girl, a young female artist, Mellow Buckzz from Chicago. Really great. I would not say live the highest level, but on the CDs and what she performs from the songs, that goes really up. She hits completely nowadays time. So if you like that, Mellow Buckzz, you can watch it. Chicago's rap, also really good, you know. Then again to Italy, because we are in the rap game. We go now to drill rap. And that is mind-blowing. You know, we have two names what I can tell you. One is Baby Gang, you know. They are originally from Morocco, but they live in Italy. And there, that was my experience also. The Maroccanis, Morocco, they all speak really perfect or very good Italian language there, yeah. There are a lot of Milan and so, and Baby Gang is the example how he produces that stuff. Goes really, really big, and I think for that what he does, the drill rap and those things, the rap nowadays is also auto-tune, yeah, a lot, but really talented, really talented. You see that, yeah, you have not to like it, but you have to say that it's really talent what you see there, you know, really good. And the other name is Rondodasosa, you know, Rondodasosa. I have put the music in a few shorts what I made, and his song Face to Face, for example, that went viral, you know, international, millions of views, you know, and that is really mind-blowing. Now what I see tries a little bit to produce the same song again, which most of the time will not work that good, but he's also big in the game, you know. They are not allowed to perform, I think in Milan and in Lecco, you know, Lecco city from Baby Gang, he's not allowed to perform there because of the circumstances, but they are really drill rap, Rondodasosa, very big in the game. There you see a talent, you know, you see a talent what they produce as a song. That is really good, you know. Completely different stories to the 80s or early 90s. But you have to accept this, you know. This is really good. And then we come international. We come to Billie Eilish, you know. I have said this once, to me, right now, maybe the biggest name in there, or maybe one of the best names out there what exists nowadays. To say that, why is too long for here now? My camera will get overheated. 20 minutes now. We'll shut up. Make a little break, then we go on. So, we have changed the course. Why? Because it started to rain and there was a guy coming in and played football, and with that noise, with the football, you cannot talk anymore. And I changed now the court to play my end one ball. Why? Because on asphalt it is better, you know, because when it is wet on the thing with rubber is dangerous, you know. I once slept out there really bad. So, Billie Eilish, we come back to the music. Why I think she's so big? I mean, when you watch a lot of music and you have seen so much, you know, nowadays from her success, what you can say. She has won the 4 main Grammys at one time, you know. 4 main categories in Grammys in one time. That no female artist has ever done before. No one, you know. And alone that shows you that she's something special. But again, I don't think prizes, winning things, say something about, or you know, it is not, you cannot take this for granted. When someone wins a lot, he has to be the best. No. Because, for example, I will tell you another thing. Madonna, yeah, all respect, but she was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I mean, and on the other side, a Pat Benatar was 15 years not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Madonna was. And they tell me, there I don't get it. You know, that is something I don't get it. You know, that was a shame that a Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo, her husband, was not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And now, thankfully, they did it. You know, so well deserved. Oprah Winfrey made a tribute back then to Pat Benatar. You can watch this when you find it. When she was performing there with Avril Lavigne. And Avril Lavigne also said the hero is Pat Benatar. You know, but again, Billie Eilish won in the 4 main categories. It was Album of the Year, Bad Guy. Album of the Year, I think Record of the Year, Newcomer of the Year, and Song of the Year. Yeah, no other one has done this before as a female artist at one time. And there it shows you really that something is going on, yeah, even if you cannot take this for granted. But then on the other side, she is the youngest artist, you know, who has performed a James Bond song, yeah. I mean, James Bond songs were always the highest. When you do that, then your name is so big in the game forever. Yeah, and she was the youngest who has done it. And on the other side is, in the first week when this song came out, No Time to Die, when this song came out, it is the most successful James Bond song of all time. In the first week, you know, no other one sold more than her song, you know. And by the way, who has worked with her, you know, who worked together? Hans Zimmer. And when you know music, Hans Zimmer is one of the biggest names in music. In film music, he is an absolutely giant, you know, from Germany, an absolutely legend in the game. And when he sits there and says it is an honor for him to work with such one like Billie Eilish, then you know that something is going on, you know. And that is really another amazing part of that, you know. And wait a little bit. So now it starts to rain again. You may see it. You know, I know always the place where we can go, because here it is a little bit dry. I was growing up here in that house, so no one can tell me here anything. We played once in the garage here. You know, I was here at the chairs, another story. But, so, this is the other part of Billie Eilish. And then, she is the youngest artist ever to win 2 Oscars. You know, 2 Oscars. You know, that is amazing, you know, really amazing. No Time to Die and Barbie, you know, and that shows you what is there. Yeah, and I tell you other thing, I have seen her before she has ever won one single Grammy. You know, she has not won an Oscar, not a Grammy, nothing. She was more the underground sensation, a little bit, you know. For the young ones she was well known, but for the older ones she was, you know, a teenage thing I never heard of most of the time. And there I have seen her performing a concert, and when I have seen this, I have immediately know there is something going on. That is unbelievable. I said this to one what I know, and I said back then, this girl will be one of the best you have ever heard in life. And now here we are, a few years later, one of the, still already at that age, one of the most successful ones who ever done it. And this is absolutely amazing, you know. And she performs, you know, a lot of stuff. So the voice, also by her, like with Camila Cabello, when she talks, the voice when she talks, there you immediately hear, wow, that has to be amazing, yeah. The same is with Miley Cyrus, you know, also younger one. Her voice by talking is the same. You say, wow, that is God-given voice, you know. That is God-given voice. And so, yeah, here we are with Billie Eilish, you know. Amazing, really amazing. But that is the other thing, also her live performances, you know. But that is too much now. That would be an own video. Because the way she performs on a stage, you know, that is not the live from start to end. But she mixes this up in a way, and how she does this, when you have seen a lot of concerts. But it's too long now. That is, I could tell you there are a lot of things what is to me mind-blowing. But now we go on other artists. We go now to Spain, to Rosalia, you know. Young female artist, also really great, you know. She performed there, was it Madrid or Barcelona? I've seen her there with Catalina. Wow, you know, also very talented in the way she produces the music. She fits completely in nowadays music. Really great, you know. I will link you all things in the description. And when you are older and you don't like new music, I can only tell you, watch a lot of stuff. There are also big names out there, but it is a difference if you liked only the live musicians from back then. It is a other thing now. And then we have a other thing. I have to watch now, someone is watching, you know, always the watchers. Other young female artist which is really talented. We come now to South America. Greetings to Argentina. Nicole, you know, young female artist, really, really good. And she also performs really, really well, you know, on her CDs, the songs, Cola Cow, really fits in, very, very talented. Also her, how it's called, the Tiny Desk concert, you know, she really can do something. And then we come to the last, that the video does not explode, you know. And now a female artist, you know, we also have male artists, but it would be too much now. But that is a woman who has so much talent, you know. And we have two more. Other one, what I tell you, Willow Smith, you know, the daughter of Will Smith. She makes music what nowadays normally doesn't fit in. You know, that would perfectly fit in the early 2000s with that style, but she makes this stuff, you know, that I call it the soft punk music style, you know. I come from the punk music also, you know, but the soft punk music we call it now. But she does it also very, very good, you know. I will not say she has the best talent of all, but she does a lot, I think. If she would have the best talent in the world and she puts in a lot of stuff for training, she would be even more higher. But this is really also very young, talented lady. She also trains, you know. Very nice, like her very, very much. And now the last one, that is mind-blowing, you know. You can watch that in the description. It is Judith Hill. Judith Hill, what an amazing artist, yeah. There you sit there and you think, oh my gosh, that is the highest level to me, you know, one of the highest levels. She was entering in back then at Paisley Park Studios, and when you know music, then you know Paisley Park, and you can watch it, you know, that is, she can do a lot of things in music, really a lot, and it is, when you love music, really high-end music, then watch Judith Williams in my description. If you don't know her, then you will say, wow, that is fantastic. So, now it rains. You know, here we have the little woods, completely in this complex. And here I started skateboarding. That was one of the areas where I started skateboarding. 1991, I was here and driving. That was a penny board, you know. Back then we had penny boards, like nowadays the cruiser boards, which called penny boards, we had them back then. But the bearings were so bad that you could not roll 2 meters. But other story. So, we will see us again. I go now playing with my hand one ball. I have watched now the gangster chord, which we have lost. I will make a tribute video to gangster chord. And I have seen a lot of things now with the new plays. But I will tell something when we make the tribute video for Gangster Chord. So, now, and one ball. We see us again. Until then, bye and ciao.